Have you ever noticed how people act differently when they can't figure you out? The way they stare a little longer, their questions linger just a bit too much, as if they're trying to unravel a secret you're not sharing. It's a curious thing, being mysterious. You, chosen ones, possess a power that draws attention without trying. There's something inherently magnetic about someone who doesn't conform. You, chosen ones, live life on your own terms, and that unorthodox approach draws attention like a moth to a flame. Most people go through life adhering to social norms, following predictable patterns in their behavior. But you stand out precisely because you don't fit that mold. Your choices, the way you live, and even the way you think, defy convention. This unorthodox nature immediately piques interest. People become curious about what motivates you, what drives you to live differently from everyone else. Your uniqueness makes you compelling, because in a world of sameness, you are an anomaly. Being unorthodox doesn't mean you seek attention. In fact, it's often the opposite. You're simply being yourself. Yet, it's your natural divergence from the norm that captivates others. People are drawn to what they don't fully understand, and when you don't fit into their preconceived categories, they become fascinated. You don't broadcast your intentions, and you certainly don't explain yourself, leaving them with more questions than answers. Your mere presence is a statement of independence, and that independence is alluring to those who have never dared to step outside societal lines. Then there's the unpredictability. Most people are an open book. You can see their thoughts, intentions, and actions from a mile away. But you're more like a novel with missing pages. Your unpredictability keeps people on their toes. They never quite know what you're going to do next, and that uncertainty excites them. It's a dance of intrigue. One moment you're present, engaged, and giving them a glimpse of your world, and the next, you're distant, inaccessible. This push and pull creates a level of mystery that's hard to resist. Your unpredictability isn't about playing games. It's simply a reflection of your complex nature. You live according to your own rhythms, not anyone else's expectations. And while others may try to predict your next move, they're often left guessing. This makes you a puzzle, one that's far more intriguing than someone whose every thought and action is on display. People like puzzles. They like the challenge of figuring things out, especially when the answer seems just out of reach. You become the puzzle they can't solve, the riddle they can't quite unravel. As people spend more time around you, their fascination only deepens. They realize there's more to you than meets the eye. Every interaction leaves them wanting more, because you never reveal everything. This fascination becomes almost obsessive for some. They begin to wonder about your past, your future, your thoughts, your plans. Every detail you don't share becomes a source of speculation. And as their curiosity grows, so does your power. The less you reveal, the more they want to know. But the allure of being mysterious doesn't stop at fascination. It also taps into something deeper in human psychology, the desire for the unknown. People are inherently drawn to what they don't understand. The more mysterious you are, the more they're drawn to you. It's as if your silence, your unpredictability, and your refusal to conform trigger a primal need in them to uncover what's hidden. You become an object of fascination, not because you seek attention, but because your very nature demands it. In a world where everyone overshares and over-explains, you, chosen ones, stand as a beacon of what's left unsaid. You remind people that there's power in silence, in privacy, and in keeping certain things hidden. And that power, whether you realize it or not, is incredibly alluring. With mystery comes attention, often unwanted and intrusive. It's ironic, really. While you're not seeking the spotlight, people can't help but shine it on you. One of the first things you'll notice as a chosen one is how often you are watched. Whether it's online or in real life, eyes are always on you. Even if your social media is quiet, even if you post rarely or not at all, people are still keeping tabs on you. Every post, every update, even every silence is scrutinized. They're watching not just what you say, but what you don't say. And what you don't say is often more intriguing to them than anything you could share. This constant observation can feel invasive, especially because it's often done without your knowledge or consent. People might not comment on your posts. They might not engage directly, but rest assured, they are watching. It's the kind of attention that doesn't manifest in obvious ways, but you can feel it. You might not get hundreds of likes or comments, but your profile is being viewed. Your actions are being monitored. And what's more unsettling is that this doesn't just happen online. In the real world, people are watching too. They notice when you walk into a room, when you leave, how you speak, how you move. You've likely caught people staring just a second too long, their eyes filled with curiosity, trying to piece together the puzzle that is you. This obsessive curiosity often goes beyond mere observation. For some, watching you becomes a compulsion. They're more invested in your life than they are in their own. They follow your social media. They talk about you to their friends. They analyze your every move, searching for clues that might reveal more about you. It's as if your life has become their personal form of entertainment, a show they can't stop watching. And what's most bizarre is that you might not even be doing anything out of the ordinary. Your very existence, your refusal to be fully known, is enough to hold their attention. In real life, this obsession translates into awkward stares. You've probably noticed it before. The way people look at you, not just glancing, but really looking. It's the kind of stare that lasts just a little too long, where their curiosity is palpable. They want to know more, but they can't quite bring themselves to ask. So instead they observe, they analyze, they try to read between the lines of your facial expressions, your body language, hoping to glean some insight into the mystery that is you. This kind of attention can be unsettling. You're not doing anything to invite it, yet it persists. It's like you're a magnet for people's curiosity, and no matter how private or reserved you are, they're drawn to you. This unwanted attention often feels invasive, especially because it's not the kind of attention you can easily deflect. People are intrigued by what they don't know, and the less you reveal, the more they want to know. What's frustrating is that this attention doesn't come from a place of genuine interest in who you are as a person. It's more about their need to satisfy their own curiosity. They don't care about your well-being or your boundaries. They care about uncovering what they perceive as hidden. And because you don't give them everything, because you hold back, they become even more determined to pry into your life. The attention becomes a cycle. The more you maintain your privacy, the more they watch. The more you refuse to conform to their expectations, the more obsessed they become. It's a never-ending loop of curiosity, fascination, and speculation, all directed at you simply because you've chosen not to reveal every aspect of yourself. And while you might not welcome this attention, it comes with the territory of being mysterious. It's no surprise you feel like a magnet for all this intrigue. But the Obsidian inner order takes that allure and transforms it into power, turning curiosity into a shield and fascination into strength. This is where chosen ones gather in a sacred, protected space, connecting with over 400 others who understand the experience of being under constant watch. Inside the inner order, we offer exclusive, uncensored video content you won't find anywhere else, and teachings from the Modern Manifestation Mechanics Grimoire on Magnetic Attraction, Spellcraft, and the profound art of arranging your life for maximum abundance. For those ready to harness this magnetism, the highly coveted Star Chamber holds only limited spots for those of true resilience and clarity. The link's in the description. Claim your place, hone your magnetism, and step into the power they'll never understand. In today's world, where oversharing has become the norm, your decision to keep certain aspects of your life private stands out. For most people, social media silence is almost offensive. They've become accustomed to seeing every detail of everyone's life. The vacations, the meals, the relationships, the opinions. When you don't follow this trend, it frustrates them. They want to know more, but you refuse to give them what they want. Your silence leaves them dissatisfied, like a story that ends on a cliffhanger with no promise of a sequel. This disappointment is not just a fleeting feeling. It becomes an obsession. People who are used to seeing every moment of others' lives laid bare don't know how to handle someone like you. They keep checking, scrolling, refreshing, hoping that you'll finally post something that will give them the insight they crave. But you don't, and that drives them mad. Your social media, rather than being a place where they can learn more about you, becomes a source of frustration, a reminder that they don't have access to your inner world. You've learned to play your cards close, and that's a skill that many people lack. In a society where sharing is often mistaken for strength, you've realized that true power lies in discretion. You don't need to broadcast your every move to feel validated. Your value doesn't come from the number of likes or comments you receive. And while others may struggle to understand this, you're at peace with it. You've mastered the art of withholding, of keeping parts of your life sacred, away from the prying eyes of the public. This refusal to share everything leads to frustration for those trying to figure you out. They're used to people who are open books, people who are eager to share every detail of their lives with the world. When they encounter someone like you, someone who refuses to conform to this oversharing culture, it leaves them feeling unsettled. They don't know how to categorize you, and that makes them uncomfortable. People like to put others in boxes to define them based on what they know, but when they can't figure you out, they're left grasping at straws. The struggle to predict you becomes a challenge they're desperate to solve. They analyze your every move, your every word, searching for clues that might help them piece together the puzzle of who you are. But because you don't reveal everything, they're constantly left guessing. And for many, that guessing game becomes unbearable. They want certainty, they want answers, and you refuse to give them any. Your unpredictability leaves them feeling powerless, and that lack of control drives them to frustration. Their frustration often leads to disappointment. They want access to your life, but you've built walls that they can't penetrate. They want to know your thoughts, your plans, your desires, but you keep those things close to your chest. And while they might try to pry, they quickly realize that you're not like everyone else. You're not going to spill your secrets just because they ask. Your life is not a public show, and that's something they can't stand. In the end, this disappointment is not about you. It's about them. They've come to expect access to everything and everyone. And when you deny them that access, it forces them to confront their own need for validation through the lives of others. Your refusal to share is a mirror that reflects their own insecurities, their own need for control. And while they might not understand it, your silence is a form of power, one that leaves them feeling vulnerable and exposed. When people can't figure you out, they often resort to making up stories. It's a strange phenomenon. When faced with a mystery they can't solve, people fill in the gaps with their own assumptions. These assumptions are rarely accurate, and more often than not, they paint a picture that's far from the truth. But that doesn't stop people from believing their own narratives. They've created a version of you in their minds, and no matter how far it strays from reality, they cling to it. These fabricated stories are born out of frustration. When people can't get the information they want from you directly, they start speculating. They take small pieces of truth and twist them into something unrecognizable. It's not that they want to lie, it's that they can't stand not knowing. So they create their own version of events, their own version of you. And once those stories take root, they spread like wildfire. Spreading false gossip is the next logical step. Once people have created their version of your life, they start sharing it with others. The gossip begins to circulate, and soon, stories about you are being passed around as if they're fact. What's ironic is that much of what is said has no basis in reality. Yet, because you maintain your privacy, people are more likely to believe the gossip than to seek out the truth. After all, if you're not going to tell them who you are, they'll make it up themselves. This gossip often paints you as an unsolved mystery, someone who is intentionally hiding something. And in their minds, if you're hiding something, it must be bad. People rarely assume the best when they don't have all the facts. Instead, they jump to conclusions, often assuming the worst. This leads to rumors and speculation that can damage your reputation, even though you've done nothing to deserve it. What's frustrating is that these assumptions are rarely questioned. Once a narrative about you takes hold, it's difficult to change. People cling to their version of events, even when presented with evidence to the contrary. They prefer the mystery, the intrigue, over the mundane truth. And because you don't offer them any insight into your life, they feel justified in believing whatever story suits their curiosity. In the end, you become a subject of fascination, not because of who you are, but because of what people think you might be. You become a character in their minds, a puzzle they're trying to solve. And no matter how far from the truth their assumptions may be, they hold on to them because they need to believe they've figured you out. It's a strange form of power. You've become the center of attention, the subject of countless conversations, all because you've chosen to keep certain parts of your life private. This fascination can be flattering at times, but it also comes with its downsides. Being misunderstood is never easy, and when people are spreading false information about you, it can feel like you're constantly fighting against a tide of misinformation. Yet, chosen ones, your silence is your power. The less you say, the more they speculate. And in their desperation to figure you out, they only prove how little they truly understand. Curiosity is a natural human trait, but when it crosses into obsession, it can become dangerous. Some people become so fixated on your mystery that they begin to feel entitled to know everything about you. This entitlement can lead to gang stalking, where people feel justified in invading your privacy, following your every move, both online and offline. They convince themselves that because you're mysterious, you must be hiding something. And in their minds, that gives them the right to uncover it, no matter the cost. This invasion can take many forms. Online, it might manifest as people digging through your social media, trying to piece together a narrative from the fragments of information you've shared. Offline, it might involve people physically following you, watching you, trying to uncover the secrets they believe you're hiding. It's a disturbing reality, but for some, your privacy is seen as a challenge, a puzzle they're determined to solve, even if it means crossing personal boundaries. At the heart of this behavior is nosy obsession. People become so fixated on you that they lose sight of their own lives. They project their insecurities, their desires, and their fears onto you, convinced that by uncovering your secrets, they'll somehow find answers for themselves. It's not really about you, it's about them. They see in you something they lack in themselves, and rather than address their own issues, they fixate on your life, hoping to find some form of validation. This obsession can become toxic, especially when people begin to use your privacy against you. They believe that by uncovering personal information, they'll gain some form of power over you. Whether it's digging up old social media posts or prying into your personal relationships, their goal is not to understand you. It's to control you. They want to use your privacy as a weapon, something they can hold over your head to manipulate or hurt you. What's dangerous about this behavior is that it often comes from a place of insecurity. People who feel powerless in their own lives often seek to control others. By uncovering your secrets, they believe they can gain the upper hand. But in truth, their obsession with you is a reflection of their own lack of self-worth. They need to bring you down in order to feel better about themselves. This sense of entitlement is disturbing because it often leads to more invasive behaviors. People who feel entitled to know everything about you are more likely to cross boundaries both online and in real life. They'll go to great lengths to uncover information, even if it means violating your privacy. And while their actions are rooted in their own insecurities, the impact on your life can be profound. For chosen ones, this invasion of privacy can feel overwhelming. It's not just about curiosity, it's about control. People who can't figure you out will go to great lengths to uncover your secrets, not because they care about you, but because they want to use that information to assert dominance. It's a toxic cycle, one that can leave you feeling exposed and vulnerable. In the face of all this, it's important to remember that you owe them nothing. Chosen ones, your life is your own, and you are under no obligation to share more than you feel comfortable with. Their frustration, their curiosity, their obsession, it's all their problem, not yours. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to justify your choices. And you certainly don't need to give in to their demands for more access to your life. Protecting your peace is more important than satisfying their curiosity. By maintaining your privacy, you preserve your mental and emotional well-being. The less you share, the more control you have over your own life. You get to decide what parts of yourself you reveal and what parts you keep hidden. And in a world that constantly demands more, that privacy is a form of power. But maintaining privacy isn't always easy. People will try to pry, to invade, to dig for information. They'll spread rumors, they'll make assumptions, they'll create stories to fill the gaps. But through it all, you remain in control. You choose what you reveal, and you choose how much access others have to your life. That's a power that not many people have, and it's one that you should never give up. At the end of the day, living life on your terms is what matters most. You don't need to conform to societal expectations, and you certainly don't need to explain yourself to anyone. Your life is yours to live, and you have the right to keep certain things private. Whether it's your thoughts, your plans, or your personal relationships, those are yours to protect. In a world that demands constant updates, constant sharing, you stand apart as someone who values their own privacy, and that's something to be proud of. By keeping parts of your life hidden, you maintain control over your own narrative. You don't let others define you, and you certainly don't let their curiosity dictate your actions. So, chosen ones, remember this: you owe them nothing. Their need to know more about you is their problem, not yours. You have every right to live your life in privacy, to protect your peace, and to control what you reveal. Your mystery is your power, and in a world of oversharing, that power is invaluable. Being mysterious isn't a flaw, chosen ones, it's your power. In a world where everyone shares too much, your ability to keep certain things private is a strength. You have every right to protect your peace, to live your life without having to explain yourself to others. So stay mysterious, stay private, and remember, their obsession with you is not your responsibility. Until next time, chosen ones, protect your peace and live your truth.